we'll just do and start picture frame. I'm going to put the picture in the background. Start with the size 6.5. We do interp curve from the middle, and we're just going to go out something like so. From here, we're going to do curve from 2 views. Oh, I'm sorry. We're going to do the outside rail, and we're going to click, tools, outside rail, start, select a simple rounded shape, something to your liking, but I always use this. Top thickness 2, side 1.8, bottom 1.7. So again, we're curve from 2 views. Click your first, that's planner, flat. I'm just gonna split, delete the excess, I'm sorry. From here, we're gonna also we'll do it on the bottom. What we'll do next is do our profile. You could always use the profile adder or profile placer, but I usually make my profile curves just because I have more control. I can edit, I can change the shape. So the width I'm going to determine based on what size stones I want to use in this design. We can start with 1.7s, which are 2 pointers. I'll do the width 1.9, 0.4 of a radius for the fillet there. I'm gonna rotate, copy. Since I rotated it from the mid, it's gonna be shorter, so I'm gonna move this up. Sweep 2. Do not simplify, maintain height. You could do rebuild. I just would recommend adding more control points, but just keep in mind that it doesn't follow the curve, profile curve you made. So I always just do not simplify unless that's the look that you're going for, something a little more organic, rounder. It's your preference. Just because how this swept, it goes thinner towards where it curves. So I'm gonna grab this, add a little bit more width just to keep it a little bit more balanced. Mirror this. Okay. What I'll do now is I'll start with the first halo here. My height, what I just worked on. I'm gonna start with 2.2. You know what? I'll do a 3-pointer. But what I do in Matrix, I add a little bit of a tolerance in my stones. So I'll do a 1/10, bigger. So 2.1. Not an overall size, but like a 1/10 of a millimeter. So 0.1 I'll add to whatever stone you want to use in real. So around the halo, I'm going to use half pointer, so I'm going to select 1.1, place it there, I'll see how this looks like, around this center. 10. Complete the fill, 360. It just almost clears. And I think that's okay if we do that. So we'll make a profile curve. Just throw a circle in there just so I have something to sweep. There. Make a little halo donut, I know the center is going to be raised a little bit. We'll just bring this all up and see. Could always bring this down. It didn't update the. Make sure my history is turned on. Sweep 1. So okay, now it updates. I think once I moved from the bottom here, it broke some kind of the history. It just won't update it. That's okay. We'll bring back that curve, or all that, that curve work that we did. Let's see how that looks. Not too bad. Just checking how wide this is. Yeah, let's just leave it there. Group. Oop. I don't want to grab any of the curves. I'll just put this in the green layer, turn that off. I'm sorry, cutters, micro prong cutter. If you don't already have your style saves, we'll just start from the beginning. So we'll do a standard here with a U scallop. We'll apply no bend. We'll change this to 0.9. Move it up 1. You'll have issues here if these overlap. You won't be able to boolean. So what I'll do is I'll just change the length. Overall width, I'll just knock that down just so when I cut, I actually have prong here because I'm going to do a 4 prong. So okay, I forgot to show you. Say you did all the values, you like it, styles, you're going to add to library, you're going to name it. Once you name it, you're going to hit save. It's going to end up on this bottom half. These are the ones I saved already. So if you have future designs, you can hit styles, click where you left off, already a preset. Your workflow is going to be like way more faster. And it would just save a lot of headache. So I already had that save. It's still too wide here, so I could just have less work, less tinkering, and just less headache. Okay, we're gonna put our jump cutter, styles. I'm gonna do it straight, apply. Okay, and we're gonna cut this. See if it cuts all at the same time. All right. So there we go. We'll just add prong setting here. Change the diameter. It's just 1 stone, 0.6. Doesn't have to be too thick. Just give that some height and some depth. Because if you don't give it any depth, these prongs will snap off. There you go. Alright, that looks good. We'll bring back that first rail. I'm gonna hit F6 on my keyboard, gem on curve. This first bar, hit that twice till you see select surface, curve, or point. Select your surface here. I'm gonna flip gem top just so I can see that they're all level. Okay, so I'm gonna change this to 1.8 since I'm using 1.7s when I select these once they're casted. 0.05. I want these stones like almost girdle to girdle. All right, that looks good. Gem top. Yep. Here we have a little bit of like the diamond sticking out, the girdle. That's fine. What I'll do is just increase that width a little bit. From here, I'm going to copy, rotate. I'm sorry, I'm going to rotate, copy from the center, F4, hold shift, click. I'm grabbing all that curve. Alright, let's try this one more time. Whoop. Rotate, copy, F4 from the center, shift. Make sure you have gumball on. Just click that crosshair, drag it down. And I'm just manually moving these. Just make this as painless as possible. One more time. We have 7 halos. Just grab the last one, copy, rotate. Just double checking what size stones I have. So 2mm, 1, and 1.7s. All right. We'll just finish the ring and see how that looks. I'm just gonna move this a little bit closer. Alright, that looks good. What I'm doing is mirroring this to the other side. I'm gonna hide all my stones, just put in a different color. Hide those halos. And I'm gonna do the gem cutters, the scallops, for this here. Select your stones, cutters, micro prong. Styles. Like I said, if you saved it, you're gonna go styles, click that there, apply. I don't want these too wide. It's not too bad. I was worried that there was gonna have these cutters were too wide and gonna cut too much metal, and you don't have prong. but these look okay. I'm gonna just right click. I'm gonna put this in a different color because I have to do a little bit of splitting. I'm gonna go cutters. Group. You could split, trim, whatever your preference is. Some people use trim and it's just already cuts that excess. Really depends on how you like working. I'm gonna join this. I'm gonna cap the boolean. There we go. All right. So I'm gonna bring these stones back. I'm gonna do gem cutter. Put my stones in styles. Divot straight. There we go. Apply. Now I want to point out, since I didn't do the cuts too deep compared to how I did here, these might be okay because they're smaller stones, they're 1-pointers. But here, the cuts are a little bit too shallow, and you're not going to really have much metal here to set your stones. They look okay in CAD, but once you print these, once you actually cast it, pre-polish, you're not going to be left with much. So what I recommend is just adding a little bit more depth. So it's not a big deal. Caught it early, and we're just going to redo them. Okay. I'm going to go here. A bit more height. Yeah, that's a lot better. We're going to do those. Change the width. Just so I could visually see it. I'm going to change the height here. It's way too deep. Okay. That seems okay. Ungroup. Trim. Join. Cap. Boolean. Just make a gem cutter again. There we go. Divot straight. Apply. Much better, yeah. Okay, it's starting to look like our model here in the picture. So hopefully this video isn't too complicated, that when you guys just follow along, you can kind of, if you have the program, you can follow along, pause, take breaks, you know, rewind, watch it again. But I'm not trying to do overly complicated rings. I will in the future, but something like this is more intermediate on the, maybe on the beginner side still, but it's not too difficult once you do like wedding bands, engagement rings, halos. You can kind of start doing this type of work where it has curvature, form-fitted bands, or freeform. And I would love to make videos like this in the future so I could just explain and show like that there are different ways to go about like designing. There's no one right answer or one right way or the perfect program that's gonna make it easy and stress-free. I don't think there's anything out there. They all have their own quirks, their pros, and cons to everything. So hopefully the videos like this actually just make designing a little bit more less intimidating. So we'll just finish this ring instead of me babbling and ranting, because sometimes when you first start learning something, you don't have material, like unless you're paying for a class or a one-on-one type of training. Some of us, I don't know about you, but I'm sometimes I'm struggling. I have a family. I'm trying to keep it together and work and try to do this and help someone else to maybe get motivated to start like a jewelry designing, or I don't know, maybe it's just for fun, for a hobby. But we're just gonna do a profile curve on the bottom. I'm gonna do 3-point round, 4. I don't want it too wide. I'm gonna do 3. I'm almost gonna do like a half round on the top here, just so it has a nice curve going. Okay, put that there. I'm just gonna more or less get a dimension how wide this has to be. Maybe like 5 1/4. Yeah. Just to not like confuse myself, I'm gonna copy and paste, put it on the brown layer, and I'm gonna turn this green off. So this has to be 5.25 long. That was weird. Alright, when I just it distorted my curve. Alright, I'm just gonna leave that alone. Let me just draw a line. Like so. This is why I like to have project on sometimes for things like that, because if you're not looking at all your views, these points, when you click you'll just click somewhere random. Sweep 2. Select either open or close curves, but not both. Has to be that one. I'm gonna rebuild. I don't know what happened here. Oh. Yeah, it was open. Okay. Sweep 2. There we go. Don't worry about that excess. I'm gonna boolean. But I want to make sure that this is in the midpoint. So it doesn't look so odd. There we go. Okay. From here, I'm going to just do jump curve. Select that curve, extrude. Oh, I'm sorry. Offset through point. Turn my snaps off. Click there. Okay. Just because my cutters didn't cut on the bottom half of the shank, I'm just gonna have to split this here so it doesn't look so unfinished. Sorry. So I'm just cutting that trim off so when I boolean here. There we go. It just looks more like it flows with the ring. Pull out my picture back and yeah. All right. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully you learned something. Hopefully you found it entertaining. Maybe you just like to see how rings are made in a computer, drafting program. Like I said, I'll love to do more videos like this just to showcase and to show my viewers like you could learn something new. You could pick up, jewelry. You can pick up like designing. I know there's different programs out there. This one specifically, Matrix, Gem Vision. I know a lot of people don't have this one, but maybe you're just interested, like I said, and you're just curious, and hopefully you enjoyed, and catch you on the next video.